So now I'm going to those trees because this part is a little dark, and I hope that I will brighten it with those trees. So what I'm going to do first is a dark side which is quite light. Let's see. It's darker than some here, but it is quite light. So that's my dark side. Okay, that's the dark side. Some is a bit darker, so
Do you want a guitar?
the guitar is a bit knackered now, great. It's nice to offer, but a guitar is not worth anything now anymore.
No, why not? I'm going to drop him home then.
Okay.
Just want to let you know.
Yeah. Drive safely.
Oh well. See you later. Sorry, I didn't realise you were recording.
It's okay. It's okay.
Okay then.
See you later. So, that was my son. It happens. We do want now the light side, which is a bright side here. And we tie it all together. So I need to go with the shadow a little darker, but I think this in the background there is too dark. I need to lighten it up, yes. especially here. Okay. Here can have a little bit more. Okay. That's better. So I've got some of these. I need to go dark some places here. So let's have this. Let's have lightly a bit of dark here. Not everywhere. Here, yes. Here, yes. Going up. A couple of darks there. Okay. Now get some lights in there. Brown, green, green, brown, boom. And again get some brightest ones in there. Okay, we've got that. Nearly. Needs just to have something a little bit cooler, darker. Here and there. Let's get rid of those big strokes. Here and there. Okay. Let's get this one a bit higher there. So of course we need the shadow. There we go. We need one maybe a little with some browns, which is always nice. Okay, now this one, let's go have let's have this brush here. So go get blue, phthalo green, brown. And let's re-establish some of these darks. So that's fine like that. It's nice if we can overlap this one. There we go. Okay, while I'm at it, I'm going to do this one as well. Not necessarily as okay, good. And this one is just there to say there is one there. I'm not alone. There we go. Light, very green light here. Okay, so soft, yeah, very soft. So here, very soft. Wipe it, come back with a dark if needed. Try not to be the same as the one next to it. This one. Okay, and here nothing really, just gonna soften all that. Okay. Okay. All right. So now we just have the foreground, and we okay. maybe a few lights here and there, a few trunks here and there. We can add that a bit later if we want to, as we're going to add a cloud here later. We're just going to finish our foreground there. Okay, let's finish this. We can. Should I have it? Yeah, I'll get a bit more of my light. I can mix it, as you see, but it's practical just to have it a little bit there. Here we go. I don't need much. And so let's finish the foreground. Okay. And I've got all this here. Let's get the light on. Let's get the light on first, and then we go back with the shadow. The shadow is here. I've got some stones here. Grass shadow, stone shadow. That is grass in shadow. That one is in the back there. That one is in the front here. So what I'm going to do is when I do the shadow, get him down a touch more, just a touch more, and then have his shadow. Let's get a bit of light on first. I just want to I need a bit of light. So brush. Let's have just a smaller brush, it doesn't matter. Let's get a little bit of room just there to do the light. So I hope you enjoyed that tutorial. I really hope so. The light. We are going to start with that stone here. Touch of orange to warm it up. But I really want that lighter. I really want that light here to come. Okay. There is a glimpse here, very little, and here. So that's starting with the light here. I've got some light coming here and there, just over it, like skimming over here, not too much. And of course that light here is quite a bit cooler actually as well. Alright, while we're at that, we have got just a touch of light here, because there's quite a bit of shadow from that here. but here got a bit of light, not too much. There's a bit of light on here. Let's put the light on the stones everywhere I want a stone. We don't want stones everywhere, but we want a few stones. Okay, so here, of course, probably I will have another one or two here, but first let's put that sunlight in. Sunlight here, yellow, and our bright green. Let's push that in there, and some white. That should do nice sunlight, and that's what I have. So here we have the shadow from the tree, and then we have some nice sunlight there. I will go back into shadow there. But I cannot not do that. Have that light here. So now I want this light also there, so not everywhere, but there will be some light here, and yeah, some big lights. And before that will be some shadow, some dappled light. So hang on, let's get that green over here. With a little bit more green. Okay. And let's have that here and here, and then we'll have some shadow again there. Definitely have light up here, that one there. And here, and it will show through here as well a little bit, not too much here, but here yes, and here. Now we'll have it's a little warmer, so let's put a touch of orange in that. So we have loads of light here. That's some shadow, but mostly light there. Okay, so here some of these oranges. Okay, some are even stronger. So now here's one. And we got a rim of light there as well. Okay, so here I have a bit of greener there. Okay, some darker greens here. So that shadow, blue and
Excuse me. Okay. Je voulais te dire juste que je suis rentré. Safely. Okay.
I'm sorting myself out. You're not eating.
Yeah, I'm not eating now.
Okie dokie.
Okay,
Bisous.
see you later.
See you later.
Okay, I will go back and have darker darks there. And here in the meantime I'm having some here, and I can see there is some okay, so here okay, so let's I've got some grasses here, but before I put them in I want to put some of the darks back in there. So let's use this brush. It is dark green, really, not these. So let's have this here, Viridian. That's nice. Actually, it is nice. And now we can do a few grasses going on top of it like that. Even some growing on there. Okay. There are some grasses going on there as well. This has to be a darker green here. Okay, and now we can have some of those orangey grasses that we see everywhere there. Yeah, seeing it here. Yeah, I see them everywhere there. So I won't put them everywhere, but I do see them everywhere. It's something that grows everywhere. Everywhere here. Some darker darks, which I will put into. Here they are, darker darks. Okay. Okay, so now let's address a little bit that rock again. I see that blue everywhere from the sky, so I'll put it in. It's there. It is there, so I'm just putting it in. It wasn't confident enough for me to put it in straight away, but it is there. We can see it, that blue sky reflecting in that stone. Reflected light. We see it, so I put it in. So I wouldn't do it automatically on every painting. But there it's quite obvious, and now it looks already more interesting, don't you think? So yeah, I put it in. Why not? As it's there. Now we know that there is a side who's facing the sky. Yeah. I haven't got the dark of that one. So dark of those stones will be blue. Save it here. And a bit of red. A bit more blue. So there. Okay, few stone here and there. In that dark, we're gonna get some blue in there. not everywhere, but here, yes, here, and a hint of here, and then I need some highlights as well. Okay. Don't put these everywhere, but obviously here we need some. Okay, and we need some darks as well there. A few darks, bluer, just a few of those darks here and there. Okay, here, too dark. Okay, so guys, for right now, this instance, I think that I'm not too bad. I wish to have a few darks in here actually before I cave in. No, darker than that. Let's add some blue in that, even a bit of red in that. Here we go. So a few darks just here and there. Now, yeah, a few darks there, definitely. There. Definitely. And here. Okay, trunks can be done later. Finger works very well. I think that with that we have a near to complete painting, because not complete because I have to put the clouds in and maybe a few more highlights, and the trunks we put in as well at a later stage. So for now, for today, I'm calling it. I'm probably gonna put glazes, so you will see also how we can finish some stuff glazing. Some glazes over it, just to pop this in the front, this a bit further in the back. In the picture, as I said, pictures are lying. They're lying to us. This should not be as bright really to make this shine, but here we go. It is bright, so we've put it bright in. This one is at the ridge, so the ridge is still in the shadow, so I can't do that. But what I can do is change the color a bit, make it a bit let's have it there. Here we go. Let's have something that would be here. Yes. So with that, it seems to be a bit more there, and here I will put some glazes on next time when this is dry. Needs to dry first, then we can work and finish the whole painting. Okay, we are back together with our painting. It is, some areas are still a little wet, like in the dark areas there, but most of it is dry. All that is dry, all the thin layers are dry, so a few bits in the darks here are still a little, just to the touch, a little wet, but it's going to be okay to just finish off what we want to do, which is, if you remember, we want to put some clouds here, also a few bits that I took some notes. We are going to go through that. We want to cool down the background here, the drop field there. I started a little bit just without you, but I'm going to cool it down a little bit more. So cool down this. By cooling it down, I'm going to play with the blue and the white, and probably alizarin. I'm going to use these to cool down, and then I've got a few colors that I need to get some highlights in. So here on the palette I've got titanium white, and that is a transparent white. You can get it with Winsor Newton. Winsor Newton do a color who's called flake white, I think. No, it's not flake. Which one is it? Lead white, but it's the fake one. That's the thing. It's the fake one, so there is no lead in it. The thing is, it's a transparent white, so you can look for the lead white in Winsor & Newton. There is no lead in it, so don't be concerned about that. Or if you can get Rembrandt, that's the Rembrandt make, which I've got it here. Here it is the transparent white, Blanco transparent Weiß, and on the other side we got in English here transparent white. Okay, so that's transparent white. If you need to scumble or to glaze, then you have to use this one. This one is far too opaque, it won't work. So then I have ultramarine blue, which is transparent color. I've got a light green. I've got yellow cadmium lemon. I've got cadmium orange. I've got alizarin crimson and red oxide. So blue, red oxide, alizarin crimson are transparent, and this white is transparent. So that's what I'm going to use to do the effect to cool down. Then I'm going to use the remaining colors like orange, yellow, this white, etc. to warm up some colors, and then we're done. And for the sky as well, and then we'll be done. So what I wrote there on a piece of paper, I wrote down that I have to cool down this area. I have to put them a bit more together, because as we go down, it's equal here, equal distance, and equal distance. That one is a bit more apart. So I need to add something who makes us believe that there are more than just trees who are going down. There's a clump of trees, more than 5. There is 7, 8 trees in a group going down. So I'll have to work on that. I'll have to cool these down, the first ones there. Yeah, as they go down, they recede. So I have to cool them down. Then I'll have to get more light here, because it doesn't make any sense for me really to have cold, shadowy green here. So I will dapple more light into that. I'll have to get warmth like I have here in this tree and that one, only these two. I'll have to add the clouds. I'll have to add a little bit of light on this rim here. So it looks like it's going like round it here. So I will add a touch of light here. And more light here. And that's about it. But there is still a little bit of work to do, as you can see. So let's start with putting in the clouds. And for that, I'm going to use break time already. So I'm going to start with the clouds here to get them around here in front of this peak. So we'll see what we highlight there later on. First of all, I get the cloud, and I will get the shadow in first. So my brushes today will be SHIRAZ brushes, some. I've got a round brush, a flat SHIRAZ, so they're a little softer than a bristle brush, but I also will have a bristle brush. So I will start with a SHIRAZ. So I've got a bristle brush here, and I've got a softener here, which is called a mop. Rosemary & Co. Mop Series 109. So that is to soften everything here. And that's it. So let's start with the shadow. Of course, on the side I've got some mineral spirit to clean my brushes, but there is a lid on top of it. I will start with the shadow. So there will be a cloud coming from way over here and going all the way to that cliff and stopping about here. and then we put some stuff coming down here as well. Let's see. First, let's start with my ultramarine blue. Down below here, of course, I have my medium, which is just some odorless mineral spirit. So I have that, and I'm going to put a little bit of alizarin in there, and a little bit of the earth as well. And now I'm going to lighten it. I need it bluer. Okay, that's better. Lighter. I think that this is not too bad. Let's have a look there. Too dark, so much lighter. Let's see what that is like. Needs a touch bluer. That is still too dark. That is better. So put small amounts on it. So I want to come from here quite a bit of that dark. Let's do it slowly. Take your time. Take your time. Don't have to be too regular. We don't want it too big, so this starts to come in there. There will be some smaller clouds here. Maybe. Maybe I could finish it all the way down there as well, yeah. So the cloud comes down a bit more there. Yeah, something like that. Here, and over this side, yeah, have some clouds. And we're carrying on in front of that peak there. and some in the back of that peak as well. Okay, I don't want anything. Well, I could have. It's very blurry there. So bear in mind, I am not following at all the picture there. I'm just putting clouds here and there to make sense to me, to the picture here. And for me, it would make sense to have a cloud over here, and actually to darken here a little bit everywhere. This would make sense to me. And what makes sense to me doesn't necessarily have or will make sense to you. Okay? So you can be very loose with that. Some are. Cloud is something very loose. I will also lighten the horizon there. Okay, now I've done this, I will use the same brush that I will just clean out a little bit and get the top of my clouds done. For that, I'm going to be here, take some of that clean white there and put a touch of orange in there to warm it up. You don't want white clouds even on a day like that. And I will start very lightly to put some color in. To start with, just the tops. Of what I've just done. Like that. Then I go there, do the same. I don't go straight, I leave gaps. Come in a bit. Okay, now I wipe my brush, just like that. I wipe it. Okay, wiping, and then I come back. Oh, I need a touch more of that white here. Let's do this one as well, just coming from the back before I start again and wipe the brush. And this one here, actually, and then we come back to it. And then this one, of course. Okay, now wipe it and come back here to blend it. And we will try not to touch the top too much, but I blend the bottom. Okay, come back to the rest afterwards. Some hard edges can stay there. We are going to put more in anyway. Okay. Now with that, I just take a touch of red and white. And I go back just in between, not everywhere, just here a little bit, between the shadow and the light. Okay, now I wipe the brush. Here and there we have some streaks. Okay, so here we can have some of it going down there. See, escaping from here and coming down there. Don't stay static. Here as well, I'm going to do the same thing that one is going to escape and come down there. Twirl the brush like I do here. There we are, we've got that peak coming up, that's nice. And here we're gonna go a touch lighter. So this is quite nice, well, I like it. So I'm going to get clouds a little further down there. So a bit more white, a bit more touch of orange in it. Warm that one down a bit more, I don't mind. So just normal warm clouds there. I'll put the shadow in a bit. Actually, I'm going to put it in now. I'm going to use this brush here. I want a lighter shadow. There we go. That's quite nice. We can, with that shadow, go over that mountain as well a little bit. Here, like that, see? So here, back with that light in here. So you don't fill just everything in. We'll have to go back on the tree there. Okay, and then why not? So here a sweep of, let's do this up here, not as warm. So I'm going to take this and go over here. We want it cooler. Don't have much here, and go just a bit more there. Again, see, I'm twirling that brush. There we are. A little bit in there. A little bit everywhere here. Go. And yeah. And now with a bit more white, just gonna come and scumble over here, everywhere. I want it misty here. So I'm going to put a touch of medium in there, and then I will start to have it more misty here. as you can see, I'm really scumbling there. Some fog into all that. Ghosty clouds. Then have something coming in here, a bit heavier. Okay. Go back every so often, have a look what it looks like from a distance. I know I'm going to do something there. Something like taking this off again a little bit. So that's possible too. I put a bit of mineral spirit, I washed out my brush, and I'm going to make this edge appear again by cleaning what I've just done. Okay, so here as well, take this off. Okay, that's better. Maybe I'm gonna take this down here. Here, that, and then wipe it off. There we go. So this is no details, no nothing. So I'm gonna put a little bit more still, some here. Get rid of that blueness. There we go. Maybe a bit more here and there, a bit heavier here and there. These lines need to be a little heavier too. Okay. Have some streaky lines, you know, like this. So a little less here, a little too sharp there. Here we go, that's better. Nothing who screams. Here I can do a bit heavier still. We need to see some form here and there. There we go. And then here as well. We need to see a little bit more. White, less blue. And then it needs to come down here. The mist needs to come a little bit down here. So nothing is Okay, so I believe that this is better. I'll have to be just careful here. But all in all, it looks much better. I will take some of the it's too little too white bright. I'm going to put some dark back in there. There we go. But that's about it. Here maybe a little bit. Okay. Bit of mist, so twirl it a bit like that to make it a bit misty. And here as well, change color. I go in that shadow that I had here, and I'm just gonna put a few bits here to look actually like mist. Twirl it. Careful back here again. So don't be irregular, but okay. So just this shows that there is something here going on. And there as well. Okay, do I want to put details in there more or less? No, I think I'm just going to do this, and that will do for this part here. So now this is darker there, has to be a little darker, but I can do like in green a bit. Okay, that makes more sense. That is good here. So I think we're all good with all this part here. Do I want to put a few here? I think so. Maybe here, just here, 1, 2, 3. Bigger pines. They're coming down towards us. Let's have this shadow here, and maybe have something here. So that's not too bad. Here we'll leave it alone. There, just gonna have to adjust here in a minute. But let's put some green on that. Put some muted green, of course. Again, here. Just like that, no more, no less. Let's add a touch again of that transparent white there. So wipe the brush, use what's on there just to do some bits there. Okay. That's more interesting. That will come across when it all dries nicely. I don't want to put any here. So now I'll have to go in front. As I said, I have to blue this down, this tree here. So let's do the blue, blue-green, and blue this tree down. And even so no bright like this. And no warms like this either. So let's get this one a bit bluer. Let's get a few darks in there. Okay, here and that together is gonna be a dark. Let's put a little touch of orange in that dark, who's too bright. So here again. Now we got a nice dark here that I again put here. can be dark. I don't want to be too blue. Here, instead of being brown, it will be dark. So that's possible to be darker. There is one here. There is one here. Bit on the bluer side at dark. So now you can see that there is some pine trees going down there. They were in a group, they're not individual anymore. I will even add one there. Why not? Okay, so now I've done that, we will add just a few greens, but not bright. So this green is too bright here. I'm going to dull it down a bit. It's too far to be so green. See, there is another one. This one here. So now it looks more like there is a big group of trees going down there, and it looks all much better in that picture. I need a bit more dark here. So it's not because you finished one you think you finished, not that you finished, but it's not because you think that you finished that your painting is actually finished. Do you see? So if I want another one here, all I have to do is just that and that, and now all of a sudden something appeared here. Same with here. So now we've got a big group of trees, and it looks much better, harmonious, nice. Okay, now here we'll have a little bit more And let's get something different here. More brown, remember we said a bit more brown in there as well. So here we have a good example for the next step. We got the darks, we had the lights. I put some more lights and a little bit different foliage color in there, but what I need now, actually, that could be part of this tree here, and here could be another one just behind that. So to mix the colors like that is quite good. So what I need here is some shadows in the darks. So shadows in the darks, let's go again on the blue side there. Blue green, and just here and there on this side we will have, those don't show up too much now, but they will. If they're too dark, you add a touch of light, touch of this one, because we want to show them that they show up. Still not showing up, so a bit more of that white. Now they will show up. So in this on this side here, we now have, without going in the inside in the dark, just there. What we now have is the other side of the tree, which is bluer, greener, bluer. And you don't have to be, you mustn't dot it, and you don't have to be too precise. It's nice to have these colors in there. It really makes that tree complete. Okay, let's put one there and stop there. I can put a little trunk in there, and I also can put a little bit more with that light in there, here and there, which will really give some more interest into that tree. Can join these together. Here we go. Very nice, very effective. Now let's move to this one. For this one I will do the same. Let's use the shadow as it's here. Put just a touch more blue in there, and a bit of that light here, and get to that shadow in here. Even a bit bluer there. I'll leave that gap. Okay, and now we go to the light side here. Maybe I've put a few darks in there. Let's do a few darks. So a bit of blue again down there, a bit of that few darker darks there. A little bit of red. More blue. Yes. Okay, here and there. No more than that, that's fine. Okay, I wipe my brush. I need to be darker here because of so let's do that actually. Right to the floor. Now we want the lights again, so let's get those two and go here. Wipe my brush. I don't want something bright, but that's nice. So it's different to what we have, so we will have a bit more worms in there. And it will come forward with those worms. Okay, and now on top of that I will have a few more lights, but not much. I'll put a bit of that in there, a bit of that green again in there. And just here and there. And that's it, just right there. I want to go a little back, round this up. I think that's not bad. I won't do much more than that. Yeah, because that's not my main focus. It's nicer. It is nicer, a bit more colorful compared to these, but I really want the most colors and differences in that tree. So here, while we're here, I'm going to put a couple of trunks in there. So I use the same brush. I use that light for now. So that's that, but now I need the dark side of it, a brown that's not. So here it is. I want it muted. So okay. If I don't want to see the mountain, I do want to see that mountain through actually. If not, it wouldn't look really good. So let's get some purple, some red, put it in there. A little bit of blue, or take this, what's there. I shouldn't be too bad here. Even have a little bit of that whitey thing here. Okay. Couple darks again here and there. Okay, that will do. We don't want any more than that. Here, there is a tree here that I'm going to on the line there. Okay, and no more than that. Nothing more, nothing less. Here we only have the tree. Could have some muted colors in. But nothing that's going to distract. That nothing that's going to distract. That's the word I'm looking for. There we go. Okay, that's it. Here I want something a bit more wispy, so let's go in there. come back in with that purple bit again, maybe. Okay, I think that's not too bad. Okay, leave it like that. It'll be less dark as well on this side. Okay. Here, up there. Okay. Okay. That'll do. So now let's go to that important tree there. I want to start by getting some warmth in there, and let's do a little bit ultramarine blue. Good, that warm is too bright, so here. So a few more browns here. Do much more. So now this side here, which will be shadow side, the shadow side with an interesting green, dark, but I don't want it only So lighter. We're still in the dark. Okay, so all these now need to be softened a little bit. That is too confusing with the trunk, so got rid of. Not sure what that is, but let's go and do something like that. It needs to read. If it doesn't read, well then it's wrong. So let's do something lighter here. The light here, it's nicer. That's okay here, that's in the back here, so that's okay. That should be in the back, that's in the front here. That here is in the front here. And that here is in the front here. So let's do this. Let's do that. Okay, I've got light here now. So here I've got light. Here I've got light. Okay, so clearly a light is here, so we need to make a statement that that here is the light. So here is light, here is light, here is light, okay. So now I need to put, that's dark, that goes around here, so that here goes around to the dark here. Okay, not bad. Here and there will break up the dark. I'd like a few more browns in there, so save that brown here. That orange, sorry, yeah, orange, brown. A few more of these browns here. Okay, that's not bad. I like that. I quite like that. So now just the shadow behind there again, like he has disappeared. So dark again. Dark but not warm, so a bit more of that blue. Here. There is fine, but I'm just going to put a little bit more there. And then let's go for the light again. Here I will first do this. And then go a little bit over that light, because we don't want it that light here. But I do want something quite light here. Light and warm. Light and warm, yes. Orange. Orangey warm. Touch of this one in there. A touch of the oxide in there to really warm it up. Okay, and now we go back to the dark. And I need to cover this with the dark green. Here. Okay, that is all much nicer. Okay, right now this will stay like that. Okay, so I addressed this and that. I need to have this back end a little bit bluer to recede. So what I'm going to do is take a bit of that blue here, add a little of the transparent white. Oh, I need to clean my brush first. That was too dark. So, clean it first. And then start again. A bit of blue. Can stay here actually. Bit of that white transparent color, and just here we blew it up a little bit so it doesn't come forward too quickly. There we go. Okay, now I've done that tree, that's done. Bluing here a little bit more, just here and there. To really send this down there. So that now goes really down there. I don't want any of those yellows here. I have the same here. Okay, and then here, send this down as well, further back I mean, just that little opening and a little bit here, see here, just a little bit, but that now gives us a nice line who's going back, and now I need to address what is in the front. I need to do shadows that are a bit cooler. So let's do a green. Let's go over here. Bit of blue, bit of that green. Okay. And it's a shadow, so a little bit of the opposite color, which is red, to get it lower. Let's do a bit more of that actually. So more blue, more of that green, and a little of that red. So now we have a shadow, but this shadow could be a little bluer. So let's have a bit more blue in there. I think this is interesting, but not blue enough. So let's put blue in there. The blue is transparent, so, and that's maybe a little better. As a shadow light, that's the ridge here, which I'm going to leave there. I'm going to blue this a bit. It's a bit bright. Yeah, that's better. And here. Okay, touch more blue still. Maybe, as it's a bit dark, touch of that white in there. Yeah, let's have a look at that. That is more like a shadow now. A shadow that I want here. Stony. Because these shadows are a bit dark. Here. And there. It's too green. See, these shadows there are too green. So let's have a bit more blue and a bit more white in that. So that shadow there is much better now. Not too dark, not too light. Okay. Now in these shadows we need a little bit of reflected light, which I'm going to do right now. First, get this shadow done here. Okay, now okay, now it starts to come alive. Okay. So this is too bright right now. Now put the lights on, and I'm nearly finished. Let's put the lights on. For that I'm going to use the flat brush here. I'm going to use a bit of that bright yellow, that green, and titanium white. The opposite, which is red. I could have taken orange as well. And now I do want to have a few more double lights here and there. Here I would have had some light. Okay. Okay, so that is all nice now. The light coming in, here's some light bouncing over there. Here we could put some light over there. That trunk needs to come down, gone up too much. And then here, we'll come to that in a minute. I want a bright ridge here. Some bright colors here. So let's get the other one, the other brush going. I need more blue. a little bit more blue. We'll need more green too, but I'll come back to those shadows in a bit because I need to do this as well. I need to have more of that here. That's okay here, shadow here, and I need to play with more light over there. And find my way back into here, because there should be just light and no shadows here. So I will go a bit lighter, I mean lighter in the shadow, in this area I mean. But here there is no shadow. There is nothing who says there needs to be a shadow. So just gonna put this in this color, and then we are going to do some ideas here and there. Shadow here, yes, and I can get that shadow a bit longer, yes, I can do that. Here again, can have a shadow from there, but maybe not here, maybe here. There is no shadow. So now a little bit more light there. Okay. Bit more light here. Really to see that there is an edge, a little light here. Okay. Okay, one last path with the shadow. So blue, green here, or let's do this, and transparent white. This is a nice shadow here. And here we can extend that shadow just a little bit there. Extend it here as well. Okay. There. This shadow also can go here. That's fine. And now it needs to extend a touch over there. Here. There we are. That trunk needs to go further down. Okay. Okay. Now, all this makes much more sense to me. I could go lighter there, actually. For that, I take just a bit of blue, a bit of that white. And I think I need to, as much as this is, I know this is the shadow of the cloud there, I need to get rid of that, and I do need to make more twirly clouds, not clouds here, not this type cloud, but that needs to disappear. So I need to get a little bit transparent white. I'm just gonna do this here. So transparent white and need to get rid of that. And here as well. I want something more. Don't really want that shadow. Something a bit misty, but also I could just get back some of that pink there, or not, I don't know. Do I want to get that back? Maybe on this side a bit. So get this and a touch of blue and a bit of white, the transparent white, and now I want a bit more of that pink, a bit more transparent white, a bit more of that red, a bit more blue, on the shadow side here. Yeah, I think that's better. What do you think? Let me know in comments what you think. But I think that this is better, and I can now even go a bit wilder here if I want to, meaning I get some white again. And really get a bit lighter here. Okay. I think that now that's better. Yeah, that's better. There's more color in there. Okay, that's okay. That is not okay here. So again, what do I want to do? Do I want to put a bit more of that light here? Yeah, that's better now. Okay. Well, I think that we did it. We did it. It's finished. I have a trunk. Just some suggestion here. Just a suggestion, no more than that. Okay, that's all right. That is it. That is it. Don't want too much stuff going on here, so, but I may put a little bit more of a light here. And here. Okay. Okay. Okay, so okay, and then as I said, we have some to play with here and there, which is nice. So put some of these things in. There we go. So that's not okay. That's cool. I think that is it. I could put a touch of a light on here. Maybe a little light here. And go. That is it. Okay, we call that one done. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you soon in another episode.